The cause, a dangerous discovery, a drum filled with a toxic chemical washing ashore on the Intercoastal.
Night Team's Mike Mars alive for us in Hollywood to bring us this story. Mike?
Guys, what a headache, but the good news here is that it is finally over. A1A back open, that barrel, that drum of chemicals, it's out of here. The bad stuff gone. Blame this 55-gallon drum that washed up on Hollywood Beach. Inside, some unknown chemical. The immediate area evacuated, traffic shut down. The solution began to bubble, nearly boiling into a fire. So hazmat officials neutralized the chemical in a solution. That means they made it safe to move. Hazmat units escorted it to a waste management facility in Davie late Monday. Guys in protective suits came back out to the scene to clean up the mess. The road is back open.
More than a dozen students and a teacher are infected with some sort of rash.
Any minute they're going to be transporting some kids to the hospital. Now what we understand is this all happened just a couple of hours ago at the school. Kids began itching, they had redness on their skin, and that's when they called 911.
The gruesome story right here in South Florida that is making headlines all around the world. Police have identified the man who was eating the face of another man on the side of a major South Florida causeway. Police say his name is Rudy Eugene. He was 31 years old. Eugene did have prior convictions, but nothing like this. CBS 4's Kara Cosfinish joins us live from downtown Miami, where this all happened. Kara, you have reaction from people who knew Eugene?
And we sure do, Rhiannon, but still there are plenty of questions. Now a few more have been answered. In addition to the attacker's identity, we've also uncovered the condition in which he and his victim were found. Plus, we spoke with neighbors who say Eugene was a good guy. We now know this man, 31-year-old Rudy Eugene, was behind the brutal cannibalistic attack on the MacArthur Causeway. Eugene is the man on the left in this surveillance video. His naked body lies motionless after cops were forced to fire at him several times. They say he was literally chewing the face off the man beside him. And now we've learned new details about the victim. CBS 4 News has seen a crime scene photo showing the man whose face was mauled was naked only from the waist down. Police say when they told Eugene to stop his vicious attack, he looked up at them covered in blood and growled.
The student tells police he killed a housemate and then ate part of the victim's heart and brain. WJC is live in Edgewood right now. Mike Kelvin with even more stunning details on this crime. Mike?
Vic, police here in Harford County say they have never seen a case of cannibalism, never seen a case like this, a stunning crime, and they say they have no reason to believe the suspect is lying about what he said he did. Investigators say 21-year-old college student Alexander Canua killed his roommate, then ate his heart and parts of his brain, cutting off his head and hands and storing them inside his family's townhouse on Terrapin Terrace in Harford County.
I don't want to make speculation here. It's very early in the investigation. We have a lot of follow-up to do.
Thank you, Stephen. A violent attack in Scott, eerily similar to a case out of Florida connected to the dangerous drug known as bath salts.
Now, we want to warn you, some of the video in this story could be too graphic for some viewers. KATC's Maddie Garrett reports.
A disturbing attack in Florida where a man bit the face off of another man. Now a similar case over the weekend in Lafayette Parish.
During the attack, the suspect bit a chunk of the victim's face off.
Police say 43-year-old Carl Jacquenot knew the victim and was upset over a domestic issue. This is where the attack took place, in front of the victim's house. He was out doing work in his yard. And while he declined an on-camera interview, Todd Crater says he was shocked when he was bitten in the face. Crater says he sprayed wasp spray in Jacquenot's face to try and stop the attack. That's when police say Jacquenot left, only to show up at another man's house in Karen Crow, where he held him at knife point and stole a handgun. It was there that deputies caught up with Jacquenot and arrested him.
More than a week after this gruesome scene, police say another man losing his mind.
I have no recollection of anything that happened that night.
Both attacks with one chilling connection.
Hello again, everyone. In both cases, police suspect the men were on a dangerous dose of synthetic drugs.
Now, officers are being put on alert. Tonight, Team's Robin Simmons live for us at the scene of this latest arrest in North Miami Beach. Robin?
And that's not the only connection. There are a few elements that tie these two cases together. You have the synthetic drugs, as you mentioned, the homeless, and also violence that has police in this area very concerned.
disturbing, Lisa, so we might as well go ahead and warn everybody up front that the details of this case are downright sickening and may not be appropriate for youngsters. Murder and cannibalism at this Shrewsbury condo complex.
At barely 5 feet and maybe 100 pounds, 79-year-old Jaming Liu is hardly a menacing figure. But what he's accused of doing to his 73-year-old wife at their Shrewsbury condo yesterday is beyond any Stephen King horror.
It was a very gruesome scene. It was a very tough scene. It's a very disturbing scene.
It was the couple's adult son who came for his daily visit and found his mom, Yui Zhou, murdered in a bedroom. Her left arm had been severed at the elbow, and prosecutors say her husband had gnawed the flesh from it and some severed fingers as well.